Hello again, everyone. Hope you are well on this Friday afternoon. We made it. We made it to Friday. It is February the 14th. It's hard to believe that we're halfway through another month, the second month of 2025, guys. Before you know it, spring will be here. I'm sure you folks in the north, northeast, Midwest getting snow and ice and crap. I know y'all be glad. But it is like, what is it? 56 degrees here right now and kind of sunny. So I can deal with that. No doubt. There is so much going on. I'm going to try to put a few things in perspective, guys. So bear with me. I also have a terrific passage I'm going to share with you. Or two. Maybe two passages. Maybe three. No, probably about two. They're short. But they're good ones. So you want to stay tuned for that. If you like the video, hit the like button. It helps me out. Going into a weekend, so we don't know, we don't know what's going to go down. Things unexpected, things try to get pushed through sometimes on Friday or over a weekend. I did see where the United States retail sales dropped sharply in January. United States retail sales was down 0.9% month over month in January. They say this was a big miss. It was expected to be just 0.2 drop, a drop of 0.2%. Instead, it was 0.9% drop, almost a 1%, But so a good bit deeper drop than expected. Now, I think there's several reasons for that. One is this January, the weather and all that. People are, depending on where you live, you may not get out as much or do as much online shopping even. I think people in general are holding back. January was a very busy month. Just for our nation. We had just recently had an election. We know big change is coming, and we had an inauguration. A lot of people were kind of uneasy about the security of the situation and everything. And I think just in general, when there's uncertainty, people typically hold back, even if it's unconscious. Uncertainty coupled with breakneck change, I think that there's a combination here going on. And a lot of folks, even though the majority of the country did vote for change and they're getting it, there's so much going on that it's hard to keep up with it. And I think the pace with which the change is coming, I think, is also making people nervous. Although it's good. I mean, I agree with 98% of it. I really do. At the same time, people, there's still uncertainty. It's early in the year, and people just tend to hold back, I believe, when so much is going on and they're trying to get a fix on everything. And the media is throwing so much at you from all directions. It's 24/7. And so a lot of people are like, unless you have a lot of disposable income, unless money is just not a big problem at all for you, you just have a lot of, money's not an issue, no object for you. Unless that's the case, people are like, whoa, let's just take a deep breath. Let's just hold off on big purchases, most other purchases, and just kind of see how things are going to shake out in the next month or two. I totally understand it. We are kind of like that ourselves. More on that in a minute. I'm going to kind of come back to that a little bit. I also saw where shots were fired at the Super Bowl parade today. Earlier today, they apparently had a parade in Philadelphia because the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. Okay, big deal. But apparently shots were fired. Gunfire broke out in Philadelphia. 2 were wounded. No, at least as far as we know, no deaths reported, which is good. 2 were wounded. Didn't get a lot of other details. You could not pay me enough to be in a crowd like that. Especially, and I'm not trying to bash you if you're from Philadelphia, and I'm not trying to bash the city, but especially there, I mean, in a parade or sports-related celebrations, usually some kind of violence breaks out or destruction. I know right after the Super Bowl, which was held in New Orleans, there was destruction, looting. I don't know about looting, but a lot of destruction of property and some fighting and some civil unrest in Philadelphia. And they won. They were the victors. They won the Super Bowl, yet there was violence and shooting in the air and all kind of stuff. Breaking store windows downtown and such. I mean, I guess you're celebrating that way. They had to put grease on the poles so people wouldn't climb on the poles. Again, that's another situation. I know we're older, but you couldn't pay me enough to get in a crowd like that, and especially in this parade, with a lot of people packed in a specific area or along a specific corridor. No, thank you. Nah, I'll pass on that. Maybe not even going to watch it on TV. To tell you the truth. So I thought that was interesting. Trump is very busy today, as he always has been. I don't know when the guy sleeps. Honestly, I don't know. Is he human? I don't know how he's doing it. I mean, the guy is in his late 70s, almost 80, and he doesn't stop. But anyway, he again warned Hamas today that if the hostages are not freed by 12 noon tomorrow, he will take a very, quote unquote, a very hard stance against Hamas and Gaza. Now, he kind of alluded to, as far as what exactly may happen is probably more on Israel. But as far as his influence, Trump will take a very hard stance. Now, I know earlier in the week he said, let all hell break loose if all the remaining of the hostages are not released by 12 noon tomorrow. That's coming up pretty quick, So we'll see what happens. We could have some fireworks this weekend. So we will see. I don't blame them. I mean, they've had, the poor people have been held so long, and based on what these hostages look like, these last few, especially these last 2 or 3 guys, these men that were released, and the women look bad too. They look really bad. I mean, real bad. So I think time is of the essence if we're going to get anybody else alive, freed, or get them back now. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, what I was saying is the speed with which the news cycle is coming out, both in the regular mainstream news and on just your Twitters, your social media, your YouTube, whatever, it's at a dizzying pace. It's dizzying, so I recommend that we take some time, y'all. Seriously, take some time to do 2 things. 2 things. Number 1 is spiritual preparedness. I always talk about number 1 is spiritual preparedness. Take some time and really focus on that intentionally. And if you don't go to church, go spend some time in the Bible, some reading, some things like that, praying, fellowship with others that are also Christian. So do that. I would recommend that, and spend some time in real life. And I know many of you already do. We try to make an effort. We need to do more of it. But in real life, meaning, we're so connected all day long, whether we're at work or whether we're not at work, and then we stay connected in the evenings a lot of times, catching up on stuff and catching up on news or work or our side jobs or gigs or whatever. And it's like you're worn out. Do you feel tired? That may be a reason. And I think we need to step back for a minute. And it's okay if we don't keep up with every single thing that's going on in the world for a few hours or even a day, maybe more than a day, if things are going to be okay. And spend some time in real life, in person, if at all possible, visits. That's becoming more of a challenge, isn't it? In this complicated world where everything's so connected, it's difficult. So, but let's try to make it happen. And I know Miss Dawg and I spent this past Sunday at a park, spent the day just in the world, in the real world. And I think with AI coming and with technology advancing so quickly, I think and we see as far as the speed at which stuff is coming at us, it's going to be increasingly even more important to spend more time in the real world, to stay grounded in this world and in our faith, the things we really enjoy doing. And you'll find, I believe, that it's relaxing and it can recharge you and really refresh you. I really think so. And we lose sight of that. It's easy. I know I'm guilty of it. We're guilty of it. Ms. Dawg and I both. I had mentioned the other night, was it 2 nights ago, Ms. Dawg was, and I just watched her for a while. I didn't say anything for a while. I just watched her because she's so cute doing this. She had all her she was doing her garden planning, and she had her graphs and everything all set out in her paper. She had her pencil and pen, and she's planning the garden, like what's going to go where on a graph, to scale type thing. It's cool. And I thought that was just so cool. I don't know. I think it's just it's kind of a random thing, but let's plan what we're going to do too. Spring is coming. It will get here. But yeah, unplug a little bit and get outside if possible, as you're able. Even if it's cold, even for a few minutes. You go, well, Dawg, it's freezing, it's below 17. Okay, well, be safe. Be safe. But if it's not too cold, if it's safe, get out for a few minutes and walk around. I saw a client a while ago, and we did our session just walking around because there's a nice outdoor area and it's safe and everything. And it's an older guy, and we just walked around. We made many laps around that yard, and it felt good. I'm like, yeah, this feels good. I feel recharged, refreshed, at least. It's good to get the fresh air too, right? I'm going to go to a passage. I'm not overloading you on news today. If you noticed, I'm not overloading you. There's so much going on. I just try to hit a few things here, at least on this one, at least on this video. That sun is coming right down on me here. So let me do this. I don't know if that's going to help. Anyway, I'm going to go to a passage. Now, these are good ones. If you're still with me, I appreciate it. If you haven't, hope you haven't tapped out yet. All right, the good stuff here. Proverbs. I don't pay attention to Proverbs like I should. Okay, Proverbs chapter 17. Start with verse 15. These are just all good. One who justifies the wicked and one who condemns the righteous, both of them alike are an abomination to the Lord. Why is there money in the hand of a fool to buy wisdom when he has no sense? A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. Oof, I like that one. It's not always the same thing, a brother and a friend, right? One who has a crooked mind finds nothing good, and one who is corrupted in his language falls into evil. One who loves wrongdoing loves strife. One who makes his doorway high seeks destruction. A joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. Isn't that the truth? All right, guys. Let's be safe out there. We're going into a weekend. All right. Be careful. Let's stay aware. Stay close to Jesus. God bless y'all. See you soon.